Hi folks, Martin here. I want to show you another quick and easy mix using two tracks that you're very likely to play at most parties. The first track, as you can see loaded on deck A, is Bootylicious, Destiny's Child. And the track on deck B, it might become as a bit of a surprise, but you've got to trust me on this, Mundian Panjabi MC. Now, a couple of things to note about these tracks. First off, tempo. Bootylicious is down at 103.4. Mundian is 98, so they are different tempo. We are going to have to adjust one of those to suit. And my recommendation is that you actually speed up Mundian to match Bootylicious. We'll do that in just a second. Key-wise, you'll also see on screen Bootylicious is 7D, Mundian 6M, close enough for you to be able to get away with. Okay, so it's not an exact match, but if you know anything about the kind of Camelot wheel and keys, you know that generally speaking, if you've got numbers within one of each other, they're going to sound okay. So we're going to need to listen to the end of Bootylicious and find a suitable point at which we want to start mixing out, and then we're going to find ourselves a loop at the beginning of Mundian to start. So first things first, I'm going to sort out the tempos, right, so that they match, because nothing is going to work if they're played at different tempos. So you can either take the very easy route on your controller, and you can hit sync on Mundian and that will then automatically match the BPM of Bootylicious. Or if you can't bring yourself to do that and you decide you want to do it manually, all you're going to have to do is move the pitch fader to match. So I will do both. In fact, what I'll do here is I'll set it manually here. So I'm going to just pull the pitch fader up to 10 on Panjabi MC. I'm going to pull it up to 103.4, or at least as close as I can get, 103.41. You'll notice there then, so Mundian is now a plus 5.5% in terms of tempo. Is that going to make a difference? Well, in this case, actually, no. You're not going to notice. Your dance floor isn't going to notice. But you do need to listen and trust your ears if you to decide for yourself whether you think speeding up a track this much is actually acceptable. In this case, I can already tell you it works. Okay, right, first things first then now, let's have a listen to the end of Bootylicious. We're looking for something like about an 8 bars outro so that we can mix out. Tractor very kindly put some little markers on the waveforms here to give me a bit of a clue. And this white bar here towards the end, if I just click in there, you can see we're around about 2 minutes and 59 seconds into a 3 minutes 28 song. So we're getting on for the last 30 seconds of a song, which feels like that's a point at which we want to start thinking about mixing out. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a head start, listen to the tail end of this song, and find a point where we can start to mix out. So they're still looping a chorus vocals here. Right, that felt like the end of a chorus section, a chorus loop, and the start of another one. So what I'm going to do is just rewind the track to this point here, and I'm going to do a little bit of bar, beat and bar counting just to see where we are. In fact, what I'm going to also do is put a cue point here to say this is where I started counting, and then I'll find out if I got it right or not. This is a little bit of trial and error. You may have to do this once or twice to get it right, but I'm going to put a point there because that feels like it's about the right place, and I'm going to count from here. So I'm just going to head back a little bit to give myself a head start. Right, okay, let's start counting when we hit that 4 marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Nailed it first time. So this cue point here, if I now press 4 on my controller, I'm going to jump straight back to cue point number 4. So I know I'm now about 8 bars from the end of the track. Let's listen to the beginning of Panjabi MC. See what it sounds like. So instrumental part, percussion comes in. We'll count this again in a second. Right, some vocals straight away. So that's quite quick. Let's go back to the beginning. I'm going to just tap cue point number 1 on here on my controller. That just takes me straight back to the beginning of the track. Right, let's do some quick counting. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Right, okay, so we've got a 4-bar, potential 4-bar loop there that we could use. You may also notice that in that 4 bars, there's a bit of a difference in the loop. I'm going to place a 4-bar loop. So 4 bars is 16 beats. So I'm going to set my controller loop to size 16, drop the loop in there, and I'm going to play it. And let's listen to see what it sounds like. So there's that intro part to begin with. Percussion kicks in bar 2, goes all the way to the end of bar 4, and then goes back to the beginning again. Now you might be thinking, well, that's going to sound a bit odd as a loop over another song, right? Because there's a bit of percussion, then it goes back out again. My recommendation is try it first, okay? Because you don't need to make this more complicated than it needs to be. You can always change your loops later, but I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm going to keep with a 16-bar loop. I'm going to save that on my controller. So if I just hit an empty hotkey space on my controller, it will save my loop. So every time I now press 2, it will automatically switch to a 16-bar loop. So sorry, a 16-beat loop, 4 bars. Okay, so I've got, quick recap, Bootylicious. I've got a cue point that's 8 bars from the end, and I've got a 4-bar loop on Mundian K. So I'm going to do what I did in another video, which is to basically get to my cue point, drop in Mundian K, loop it twice, and then as soon as we get towards the end of the second loop, I'm going to drop out of the loop and then let that track play out. If all goes well, it should sound pretty good. I've done this mix several times. Let's try it and see. So I'm going to wind back just before cue point number 4, start Bootylicious going, and then as soon as I hit that cue point number 4, I'm going to drop in Mundian K. A top tip, if you're going to drop a cue point in live straight out so the audience hears it, is obviously timing is important there. You don't want to drop it in too early or too late. And that's why you will often see some DJs tapping their controller by the side of the play button before they're actually ready to hit it. That gets you into the rhythm of the song, and is a really neat and useful trick that allows you to make sure that to improve your timing. Otherwise, you'll just sat there hovering, and you're trying to wait for the exact moment. If you're getting your tap into the rhythm of the track, then it means that your timing is much more likely to be on point. So you'll probably see me doing that as we get up to cue point number 4. Right, okay, let's go and get myself back a little bit. Oh, I've got some headroom. Yes, I have. Right, go. Here we go. Here we come. That's the end of the first loop. Going to drop it out now so that it Mundian K plays out. Loop is gone. Okay, so there we go. I have performed that mix several times. You may notice that the vocals at the end of Bootylicious clashed very slightly with the vocals at the beginning of Mundian K. Okay. Should I do something about that? Well, if I was being a perfectionist, probably. Has my crowd ever picked me up on it because those two vocals clashed for probably a couple of beats? No, they haven't. Everyone is either singing Bootylicious or they know that Mundian K is just about to come in. Either way, I've never been picked up for the clash of vocals on there. Most of the time, we would always recommend that you do not clash vocals over 2 songs. But when it was a short section like that, I think we'll be forgiven. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. If you did, let me know. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you very much.